At 42 years old, I would smile in public emotionally, but secretly, I felt like life had passed me by. Still single, no husband, no children, and honestly, I started believing maybe God forgot about me emotionally. But everything changed when God showed up in the middle of my loneliness.
Welcome to God Showed Up Stories. Today's story is for anyone who feels emotionally left behind in life. Sometimes people quietly carry heartbreak emotionally because life did not unfold the way they imagined, especially when it comes to relationships, marriage, children, family, and honestly, watching everyone else move forward emotionally while you feel stuck can become deeply painful. Many people smile on the outside emotionally while privately battling loneliness, disappointment, comparison, and questions they are too ashamed to say out loud. But today's story is a reminder that God's timing is different from human timing emotionally. And just because your life looks different does not mean your life is less valuable. Before we begin, make sure to like this video, comment below where you're watching from, and share this story with someone who may need encouragement today. Now let's get into the story.
At 42 years old, honestly, I felt emotionally exhausted from pretending I was okay. People would constantly ask questions emotionally that quietly hurt more than they realized. Why aren't you married yet? Do you have kids? Don't you want a family? And honestly, every question felt like a reminder emotionally of everything I didn't have. At first, I believed my season would eventually come emotionally. I believed love would happen naturally, that marriage would happen, that children would happen. But as the years passed emotionally, the silence became heavier. Friends got married, started families, built lives emotionally that looked completely different from mine. And honestly, I started feeling left behind emotionally. Social media made it worse. Engagement photos, pregnancy announcements, family vacations, birthday parties for children. Everywhere I looked, emotionally, it felt like everyone else was living the life I prayed for. Meanwhile, I would come home to an empty apartment emotionally night after night. And honestly, loneliness became one of the hardest emotional battles of my life. I remember one birthday specifically emotionally. I had just turned 42. I sat alone in my apartment that night, staring at the candles on a small cake, emotionally fighting tears. And honestly, for the first time, I truly questioned God emotionally. I whispered, "Did you forget about me?" That question stayed in my heart emotionally for a long time, because deep down, I felt like my life had failed emotionally somehow. Not because anyone directly said it, but because society constantly teaches people emotionally that marriage and children are proof of success. And honestly, when you don't have those things emotionally, it can quietly damage your self-worth. But during one of the loneliest seasons of my life, God slowly started changing the way I viewed myself emotionally. Not overnight, but little by little. I began spending more quiet time with God emotionally. Long walks, morning prayers, journaling, reading scripture late at night. And slowly, God started healing parts of me emotionally that I didn't even realize were broken. He started teaching me something powerful emotionally. My value was never tied to my relationship status, and my life was not meaningless simply because it looked different emotionally from other people's lives. Honestly, that realization changed everything emotionally inside me, because for years, I had been measuring my worth emotionally through comparison. I kept viewing my life through what was missing instead of what God had already given me emotionally. Over time, peace slowly replaced bitterness emotionally. I stopped feeling ashamed of my story. I stopped apologizing emotionally for where I was in life. And instead, I started embracing the life God had given me emotionally. I started traveling, helping people, serving at church, building meaningful friendships, taking care of myself emotionally for the first time in years. And honestly, for the first time in a very long time, I started feeling alive emotionally again. Then something unexpected happened emotionally. Not marriage. Not a miracle relationship overnight. something deeper. God restored my joy emotionally. And honestly, that became more valuable than anything else. Because I realized emotionally that happiness could not depend entirely on another person arriving in my life. Peace had to exist inside me first. Today, at 42 years old, I no longer see myself as behind emotionally. I no longer believe my story is incomplete. Because God showed me emotionally that purpose still exists in every season of life, even single seasons, even lonely seasons, even seasons that look different from everyone else emotionally. And honestly, I finally understand emotionally that God never forgot about me. He was healing me, growing me, preparing me, teaching me emotionally to stop seeing myself through the expectations of other people. So if you feel emotionally discouraged because your life does not look the way you imagined, please hear this carefully. You are not behind. You are not less valuable. And your story is not over emotionally. God still has purpose for your life, exactly where you are right now. And sometimes, the greatest miracle emotionally is not finding someone else. Sometimes, it's finally finding peace within yourself through God.
If this story encouraged you today, comment "God showed up" down below. And if you believe God still has purpose for your life emotionally, comment "God has not forgotten me." Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to God Showed Up Stories, and turn on your notifications so you never miss another powerful testimony. And share this video with someone who may be feeling emotionally lonely or left behind right now. Thanks for watching. And remember, God always shows up right on time.